Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel for another process video. Today I'm going to be working with that Chatterbox kit that I made just not too long ago before I took off for my little mini vacation. I'll go ahead and link that video up above on the right, so that way if you have not checked it out and want to, it's right there for you. All right, so you guys all know me, especially if you guys have been following me for many years, and that is I love to show how you can take old paper, no matter how old it is, and create beautiful creations, and that's what I'm doing today. Now you're probably wondering, Desiree, this paper that you have right there, using your cardstock looks pretty beat up, and it was. But that's okay. I'm going to cover up most of it, and you're not even going to know just how beat up that paper was, knowing that there was a cut already into it, and there was some stamping that I was testing, and I ended up, you know, messing up on one side and then ended up flipping it over and tested it again. But I'm going to still use it. I don't let anything go to waste. And most of the time you can cover up all your boo-boos and nobody even knows except for you guys who are watching my video right now. But I took the old, I believe it was the Powder Room uh, Chatterbox collection. If it wasn't that one, it might have been the Den. I cannot remember. I'd actually have to look back on it. And I was just like, okay, so, in my kit, I showed you how I pulled some stuff together using metallics or any type of neutrals whenever you cannot find any colors in your stash. Because this paper is over 20 years old, I don't really see a whole lot, at least with what I have. I could not find anything with that, like a cornflower blue. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I haven't had a crayon box in a long time, but it is a beautiful blue, but it's just something that I don't ever see much of. It could be coming out in newer collections, but because I don't buy it, newer collections, and I kind of use what I have, I just didn't have anything. So what I tended to do was, just like I said, grab metallics, neutrals such as beige, cream, whites, uh, gold, and even gray to use as far as some things for my layout. Now, then I said, okay, so what can I do next? And because I needed to cover up the 12 by 12 paper that had a huge cut in this, almost in the center of it, I decided to work on a center layout. I don't know if that's really technically the design name of it, but that's something that I usually call it because I usually have everything set in the center. And this is something that I haven't done before. Now I've taken paper and moved it into the middle, and I have created borders on the side, but this time I wanted to tear. So I turned over the pattern paper of that Chatterbox paper, which all of their papers has almost like a cardstock color. It's a solid color of all the colors that are in that collection. And I just tore it, and I wanted to have the white paper torn on the side, and just to kind of give it a very soft edge look. Now, in my kit, you did see me grab this Dear Lizzie. It was a package of 6 embellishments, and this pinwheel was on a chipboard and then on cardstock, and it had a layer, every layer in between, it had the foam squares or the foam dots. And that's really dimensional. And that's one thing I'm trying to do with the rest of this album that I'm working on, is try to keep everything flat, because I did use some Dear Lizzie pinwheels or not pinwheels, they're called rosettes. And I thought they were absolutely gorgeous, but because I used 3 rosettes, it has really basically bulked up the album. So after I got done doing that, I layered it up with some October Afternoon label stickers, and I completely flattened that pinwheel and to where there is no dimension tape at all. Now, in that Chatterbox kit where I show you everything that I pulled, I had this circle sticker. Now that circle sticker came from that crepe paper baby collection that you see right there. And it basically had a lion, and it said like cute little cub or something like that in the center. I just took my die cut, a metal thin die, and removed the center of that, so that way I still had the frame of the wood grain. Wood grain is another awesome embellishment and to add color to a layout where you just don't have a whole lot of, you know, colors to work with because maybe it's not a dominant color in the scrapbooking world. So basically I went and I used that as a circle element, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my camera that was also in that same Dear Lizzie package as a layering. Now I go back to my October afternoon stickers that I had set aside for this kit, and I definitely wanted to use that one that said big news. Now I'm not going to keep it right there. I actually am going to move it back up to that pinwheel where I had it all kind of tucked in. Right there. That's where I'm actually going to keep it. And I like right there where it's at. I try to layer and tuck in everything that I possibly can. And once I get done with that, I then went to my Maggie Holmes sticker sheet. I believe this is for the Bloom collection. And they're clear stickers. And I'm going to put this one that says, "Love you so much." I usually have something where I say "love you" on just about every layout, because for one, it's very popular as far as a saying that is in all of the, collections. And it's just something that I just want to have remind them as they're flipping through our album that mommy and daddy did love them so, so much, because there's going to be a day when we are extremely old, and I want them just to remember that. So then once I got done putting that "love you so much" on the photo, I'm going to then take 3 of these hearts, and I'm going to sprinkle them around. I'm going to put, where did I put that third one? I'm trying to think. I actually might not have used the third one. I didn't. I instead decided to use the one that says "Happy Day." And I'm going to create a very small cluster on that other side of the photo. You're going to see me kind of mess with it to see if I want to move it anywhere, and I'm going to have it directly underneath the pattern paper, which is that plaid paper. Now, going back to the paper that I picked for this layout, I will say that the blue floral reminded me so much of my daughter's skirt, so that was why I picked that paper as the main paper. And then my son is wearing plaid shorts. And whenever I think of school, I think of plaid, even though neither one of them have ever gone to private school. So I used that plaid paper, and that's how I decided to pick those 2 papers out of all the papers that were in that collection. All right, so then I'm going to I'm going to go back and forth with this. I thought I was going to use those simple story stickers that I, ended up matching the paper really well, but I decided not to, and I knew I needed to find or have more of that blue kind of going into a triangle design. It doesn't have to necessarily be the same exact element, so I'm going to have the pinwheel up on the top, and then I'm going to put the ampersand right there where it says "Happy Day." And then I'm going to take later on, some pattern paper from that collection that was that blue, and I'm going to use a die cut to create a star, and that is going to go where the camera is. Once I get done sticking everything down, I did also remove all of the foam dots as well. From all of 3 of those elements from the Dear Lizzie collection. I just did not want any bulk, really. All right, excuse me. So there's that paper, or not that paper, there's those letter stickers, and I thought about adding a title, and I just thought, you know what, not every scrapbook page has to have a title. I kind of already have one there, but it's very subtle, and it just says "Big News" and "Happy Day," because I am going to have a companion page that is going to go with this. It's going to be a pocket page, and it's going to be of their first day of, preschool, for my daughter for the 2-year program and my son for the third year program. And I'm just going to add some enamel dots that were from the Little You Crepe Paper collection. I'm going to sprinkle those around. I'm not going to have a group of 3 on those. I'm going to have actually 2 on the biggest layering or cluster, and then I'm going to put 1 on each other one. One at the top and one on the bottom of the photo, right there where it says "Happy Day." And then I added a little bit more stamping up on the side. As you can see, I flipped it over just to show you how I messed up, and that was okay because I just flipped it over and worked with what I got. And I'm going to call this layout done. One thing I did want to mention before this video ends is that the one thing I did find while using Chatterbox, because the paper is so thin, and I use tacky glue for a lot of my adhesive, and it's in a fine line bottle. When I go to turn the paper over, the fine line bottle creates obviously a thin trail of glue, which you can actually see from the Chatterbox because the paper is so thin it will leave like a long string, of that glue, a bump kind of. And once I realized that, I then ended up using my ATG gun because that glue is an adhesive is flat. It doesn't create any type of bumps. So I would say that if you're going to use the rest of your Chatterbox paper, definitely use your ATG gun. All right, everybody, that's it for today. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing. Y'all have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye.